Hello everyone. Today I'm gonna show how to make pie dough. So there are two kind of pie dough. One is like flaky pie dough and one is like the mealy pie dough. So for making pie dough, we need like four ingredients. Is a flour. This is the all-purpose flour. Though we need the pastry flour, but I didn't get the pastry flour, so as you know, before chapter, I think we can use the all-purpose flour instead of pastry flour, like in the place of pastry flour. So I took the all-purpose flour for making my pie dough, and also we have the measured water. So there is 10 ounce, like 10 milligram. So there is 10 gram water, and the salt we have mm, the water was the 150 ml, and then salt is 10 gram. So this is for my flaky pie dough, and like these ingredients, all are the same, except the water. There is a bit less water. In the mealy pie dough, we have around 125 gram water. In flaky one, we have a 150, but in the mealy we have a 125 ml water, but except water, all ingredients are same. So as we know, only in the two types of pie dough, there is difference only the shortening cut in the flour. But one thing I want to add again, today I'm gonna use the butter instead of hydrogenated shortening. If we use the butter instead of shortening, and the quantity should be 1/4 formula more. For example, like if we use according to the book, we need 350 gram shortening, but if I use the butter, I need around 440 gram butter. So actually I'm doing it because I didn't get the shortening as well, so I think I can do this with the butter today. So my first I'm gonna add the salt and water together. So I'm adding the salt and water. As, so I'm a bit like gonna mix a bit, and the same thing I'm doing in the mealy pie dough also. So as I told before, the water is less here. Okay, so now it's okay for this, and now I'm going to cut the shortening into the flour. So you guys are seeing like the butter is there is a solid a huge butter. So I'm gonna cut it a small size, and for a flaky pie dough, we need for flaky pie dough we need shortening like piece of hazelnut size. So first I'm cutting the butter into small size, so that we can rub it by hand when we add into the flour. So I'm gonna cut it. So I cut it into small size and a little, so it will make it easier to mix, but it is still large enough for flaky pie dough. Okay. Okay, over here. And one thing is like for mealy pie dough, I'm not adding any butter. because the both are same. Only for butter size, like only for shortening size is matter. So I'll show you what size will be for the mealy pie dough also. I have a little butter also here for mealy pie dough. But I'm exactly doing the recipe for only flaky pie dough. So my all ingredient is ready here. So all are ready here. So I'm gonna add it over there, over into flour, and yeah, I will hand it I will make the pecan size you guys see. You can see it's a little size. Should be little, should be this size, like it's a hazelnut size or pea size. And I'm making all together on my hand. We cannot use the emulsified butter, because if we use the emulsified butter, it is very hard to work with emulsified butter, because they mix they hold together very easily, and so it's very hard to work. And the flaky crust will not come if we use the emulsified butter. So we usually use the flaky pie dough for the heavy pies, like heavy fillings, like apple pie or anything. So it is almost done here. So the method is very straightforward and very easy, I think. So just add the butter with flour. Okay, all ingredient is here, butter is here. And even one thing I want to mention, the all process should be in 15 degrees Celsius, below room temperature, I think. Because if we go in the warmer temperature, then butter will melt it very easily, like shortening will melt very easily, and it will be hard to work. Or if we go very lower in cold temperature, then gluten it's very hard to make enough gluten. So these are here. So we just cover it a bit with the flour, and actually I have to make a bit easier, a bit little shortening over there as I'm making it. Okay. So I'm doing everything in in the temperature now, around room temperature, but it should be a lower, 15 degrees Celsius, and also butter should be in cold, enough cold, not so warm, because if it's warm, it's gonna be melt very easily. So it would be it makes sense, it would be very hard to work. And now I'm adding my water. And the water also, I have to mention that water should be 4 degrees Celsius, and I mean it's cold water, it should be cold water. So I'm adding the water over there. Okay. And I just I'm not mixing truly, I just folding over and there. Actually, my plate is my bowl is so small, so it's very hard to handle. Yeah, but it should be smaller. Should be smaller. Actually, it looks like a medium dice. It should be smaller. Okay. And to make this project, my friend is helping me. His name is Sean. He's also the MITT student. He's studying in in hospitality sector. So yeah, and big thanks to him, for sure. So my pie dough is almost there. and I just add a little bit over there, and I add the rest of water, and all water goes now. Yeah. Okay. So my pie dough is over there. So sorry for like I'm making a bit mess over there. So don't worry, my table is sanitized over here, so I can pick it if it falling down. So actually, like when I saw in YouTube video, I see most of chef is using like 3-to-1 method, because like 3-to-1 method is three portion three portion of flour and 2 portion of butter and 1 portion of water. So yeah, like if you calculate thoroughly, the portion also same here, so it's easy to remember. Like okay, my pie dough is almost over there. So my pie dough is done here. So it's a little bit sticky though, with a little bit a bigger size and bigger. Okay, I'll make it smaller again. Okay, so it's over here, and the final product is looks like it. So I'm gonna cover it by wrap if I have, but I don't have, and put in freezer for 1 hour. Then we can work with this. So our mealy pie dough is like this. This is our mealy pie dough. This is our mealy pie dough. Sorry, this is our flaky pie dough. Sorry about that. And this is our mealy one. But as I said, told you before, like for mealy pie dough, the shortening which I'm using as butter, it should be smaller. So I'm gonna work with mealy pie dough right now. So the butter should be okay. I have my butter is left over here, and the butter is like so small. Okay, I can show you in this 3 slice. Okay, if you take the camera over here, you can see like this, so small. It's like you can make it like a cornmeal, so small and thin. Like I'm making it. Okay. Okay, now if you can see, it's a small dice, like it looks like small dice. So we'll cut the or rub the butter into the flour over here. Okay, and like rub the over. Like if you see, it's very bland, right? It's very bland over here. Yeah. Like if you see the top difference in between flaky and mealy, the mealy should be very bland. So it's very bland look like. Yeah, it's going here, and like I'm showing I'm not exactly making the recipe. I'm just showing how it should look like. Okay, so we'll add the water. We'll add the water over there. And if we do all over here, so okay, let's try all how we have. What do we have? Sorry again, it's a little bit messy. Looks like a little bit messy because my butter is kind of melting. It shouldn't be looks like this. That's the main problem if we use the butter. So okay, if we do all of them here, but also we can we can like add flour, add butter with shortening as also, like hydrogenated shortening, because this butter have extra flavor, which is very like a mouth which is very flavorful. Okay, what we have over here. So after a long, for a long time, I'm not wearing my chef coat. So today I get chance. So I'm feeling so good right now. Okay. Okay, all we have here and it looks like, if you see, it looks like a very small size, So yeah, we can add it over there. Okay, for to cut all the butter, cut it, and if you see, actually butter is my shortening is my main problem right now. I'm seeing that. So for next time, if I made anything pie, so definitely I will use the shortening, because it's easy to work with shortening, because flour, and even I have some problem with the flour as well. Yeah, if you see, it should be like very blend, should be very blended. So now I'm adding my water. So as I told you, that need less water, because the shortening absorb the moisture from here and the other side. So yeah, we're using less water over here. So we're not mixing it, because we're just flipping over and flipping. Yeah, if we flip over there and just, yeah, so it's here. This is our cornmeal. This is our mealy pie dough. If you see the difference, you can see. If you see the difference, you can see. This is our mealy pie dough. So this is our mealy pie dough, and this is our flaky pie dough. So you can see the difference. So the main difference is which create is butter. Like the butter, I mean in shortening. So which way you are cutting the shortening, I see the two differences, water and shortening. Except water and shortening, everything is same, is in the both place. So so this is our final product. This is the mealy pie dough, and this is my flaky pie dough. Though in flaky pie dough the butter is a bit large still, so it should be pecan or hazelnut size. So yeah, it should be should be more little. So yeah, this is my final product, and this is my all presentation. And thank you so much. Yeah.